Welcome to the XrossroadZ Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Hunter Grand, your personal agent for change, making life easy, Barzini.
And I'm fempreneur extraordinaire, tech diva all day, Dre Renee.
And this is the Crossroads, where there's only one rule.
Be free to be you.
What's good, y'all? Back for season 3. You ever thought we was gonna make it this far?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely.
we'll talk again in season 10. Which we are here, and season 3 is a little bit special because this season is the reset.
Yeah.
You know, we are resetting not only the show, we are resetting our lives, right?
Yeah.
We are resetting the year. If y'all only listen,
a lot of resets.
There's a lot, and y'all will find out as time goes. We can't give y'all everything, but there's been some resets.
Yeah.
And we hope y'all reset too. But as far as the show goes, though, there's going to be more content coming, especially in the Patreon. So as normal, you'll have the show every week that you're watching right now. But we're going to be doing a lot of extras, a lot of reaction videos, more Q&A, more audience involved things. And you can find all of that in the Patreon. So we definitely encourage you guys to join the Patreon. But just new formats, new guests coming, and everything, you know. And as always, we're doing this all for you. And if y'all want to hear something, you know, let us know, hit us up, drop it in the comments and everything else of things that you want to talk about that pertain to the Zennial demographic and population.
Absolutely. And if you're excited that we're back, like we're excited that we're back, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit the like button and share with someone else that would enjoy this content. So every Thursday on YouTube, you're going to get a new episode or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast like ours, right? Patreon members, you get your episodes on Tuesdays. So 2 days early, we drop for our Patreon members. So make sure that you subscribe to Patreon. But yeah, I'm excited, you know, about all the newness. It's a new year. You know, that always brings new year, new me, you know, how that goes. You know, people have fitness goals, they have nutritional goals, they have financial goals, they have faith-centered goals. So financial goals. This is the time when everyone's like, oh, I'm writing a vision, I'm making it plain. You know, I'm doing all the things. And I think it's great, you know. We talk about it. You shouldn't have to wait until a new year or a new week or a new whatever. However, when we are blessed with, you know, the new year, it is a good idea to reflect and then, you know, to reset. So what is it, you know, for the new year that you're excited about resetting or thinking about resetting?
My life.
My
life. But no, so the thing is, it's not, and I don't say that as in life is bad, but I want to reset a lot of the things that God has clarified and made clear to me, even over these past couple of years. You know, there's so much stuff that goes on. Like me and Dre talk about it all the time, y'all, of course. But the reality is there's things that we don't talk about on the show, and some things we'll be more transparent about. But I want to be intentional about my language, my perspective, you know, regardless of what's going on, right? I recall a time, you know, and I can open up about this part where, you know, I had a shift in my employment status, right? And so it was a good year. Wow, you know, I was doing other stuff, but it was a good year before I had steady income coming in. But during that time, I was not cognizant of my actual circumstance versus my perceived circumstance and the language that I was using in that regard. So um just God pulled my coattail, and I was just having a conversation with my LB about it this morning, where I kept saying I was struggling. Right. Well, people like, oh, how you doing? Ah, man, struggling, but I'm all right, struggling, but I'm making it, struggling. And the spirit was just like, really, bro? Really? Tell me about the struggle you speak of, right? Because it was like you had to get up and struggle every day to earn the money to pay for your lifestyle, right? You were stressed out, you had to do this. And then when that was removed, I won't say he removed it, whatever, it was removed, right? You had, with no visible means of steady income. Tell me how many days you were homeless, right?
Come on now.
Tell me how many meals you missed. Tell me how many days was your phone cut off. Tell me how many is that car still outside with gas in it? Are these lights still on? Is that internet still on? We were still recording shows. Like,
yeah.
Tell me about the gaps in your everyday life that you are struggling, right? And it's like, if anything, you were doing the opposite, because everything was still maintained and you didn't have to labor for it at all. So tell me about your struggle, right? And I guess it's like when we're kids, we don't think, we go flick a light and it comes on and we have no thought as to how that happens.
Yeah.
We go in the fridge and we eat and we have no thought as to how that got there. We just know I'm hungry. And when I open the fridge, food is in there. I don't know how it got there, right? Whole time our parents, Christmas time, presents under the tree, whatever. And so what I realized, and the reset of the mindset is when people talk about struggling, people are talking about getting the bag and I'm trying to get this, and it's the chase. We're always talking about excess rather, and luxury, right? Or access, excess, and luxury. We're never really focusing on, look how your basic needs, your needs are, or even beyond your basic, just your needs are always met, but you're complaining that you don't have more. And no matter what you get, right in the middle of getting it, every time it increases, it's like you've set the bar to something else. And then we're complaining that we don't have that. Like, oh, there was a time, I remember when I was young and first working, I was like, man, I want to make $24,000 a year after taxes. That was a prayer.
Yeah.
Right? $2,000 a month. Man, if I was making 2,000, right?
Shoot, all the Louisiana wing meals we could
listen, and because life was so simple, right? But and then now it's like when you get closer to that, it's like, oh, now it's 35 and then 50, and then to now we talking millions. You know what I mean? Because and when we do that, I think we keep missing what God has been doing the whole time along the way. We often ignore when we get the things that were once prayers, and we treat the answered prayers as the current struggle. Right? Like, you're in the middle of a lifestyle you prayed for and call it struggle.
Yeah.
So just reshaping how I see my life, reshaping how I see God's provision, resetting an attitude of gratitude, while simultaneously understanding it's okay to want more. Just don't forget. Right? Don't forget, like, be grateful. Like, look, hey, you're good. Just because you don't drive this car or you ain't got this amount of money doesn't mean you're not good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm still taking care of you. It may not be comfortable, right? It may not be easy. And so the prayer that I started praying was, stop asking for life to be easy and ask for God to prepare me for the hard things.
Yeah.
So,
that's good.
So that's That's the reset.
Preach. That'll preach right there. My gosh. And so, I'm so glad, that you are on the other side of that particular storm. I know there was a lot to learn. And I think we talked about that. Like, okay, what is the lesson? Lord, help me learn the lesson.
Like, hey, you just tell me.
I can get done with it.
I need God to stop with this whole Miyagi thing. Like, look.
Yeah. It's like, come on with it. But yeah, that is something for all of us. And we're going to be talking about, this age group in this time. So many things are happening in the world. Things are happening in our lives, our families. Things are shifting and changing. And it's hard sometimes, to navigate that. Like, am I doing the right thing? When we go through things, sometimes we think it's our fault. Did I do something wrong? And many times it's really to push us forward and to fashion us to the next iteration of who we are supposed to be, to really encounter the things that are next on our journey. And it's not always comfortable. And I don't think we talk a lot about it. Some people are, suffering through, some people fall apart. Some people cope in other ways that may not be the healthiest. And so, my desire for this pod and, that we become we're best friends to each other, but maybe, we now become friends to those who don't have friends that will keep it real with them, or that will listen to them, or that are relatable to them. And so I'm excited that as a reset of this pod, that we will encounter and meet and draw to us people who have never seen episodes before, but really need a friend or a set of friends in the stage of life that they find themselves. For me, I will say, like, I realize I am grown. I had that realization the other day, like, oh, okay, so we here, right? And so with that, there are some things that are great, right? Like, of course, when you first get grown and nobody can tell you what to do and all that, it's all
telling you when to wash dishes.
Yeah, you eat what you want, you go where you want, you come back when you want, you don't go anywhere where you don't want to go, that type of thing. But there's a lot of responsibility that also comes with being grown, being an adult, and particularly in this micro generation, right? Many of us are parenting parents, have parented parents, some have lost parents. You have the sandwich generation. So for those who, are spending more time with, it may not necessarily be a parenting role, but you are spending more time with, or now focusing more on your parents because, they're growing up too, right? And so we're seeing them and experiencing them in a way that we haven't before, paying attention to more, talking to them more. And then there are those who are raising children at the same time. And so what does that mean for your self-care and for, trying to figure things out for yourself? Because I think once we get to this stage, whether you're a parent or not, people just assume you have it figured out. Right? Like, you're grown enough at this point to have it figured out. And what I'm realizing is, even at this age, we are still figuring it out, and being vulnerable enough and smart enough, wise enough to know, like, I'm still learning is important. I think for me, my biggest, maybe I won't say biggest, but a reset that is important to me is taking care of myself. I have not necessarily on purpose. I don't think I've, been cognizant of it, but really just focus on, if it's building a business, if it's a particular mission that I'm, tied to, or a project, or, our family, is the family okay? And these members of the family, are they okay? just, kind of always forging ahead and moving forward on something. And I have gotten to the place now where it's like, okay, it's okay to let people handle their own business or not. I think that is the part that has been hardest for me. It's not if you can handle your own business, cool. It's the or not, right? When people don't. So folks that I work with, and whether I'm in a leadership position or if we're working together in tandem, like I have always overextended because I don't like to let stuff drop. It's just like, right? We don't want things to fail. I don't want folks to look bad. I definitely don't want to look bad. And I just have gotten to the point and, God is showing me like, that's not my job. Right. My job is to take care of me and do the very best that I can, do what he has asked me to do. And for everything and everybody else, I have to leave it to him. Right. Yeah. And so that is a master reset. I'm also trying to decrease the amount of decisions that I have to make a day. I was watching a clip and I've seen it before, at least the information, not the clip itself, about and I don't know if it was, I don't want to call the wrong person's name, but I feel like for some reason it was like Steve Jobs, but it was somebody that wears the same thing like they have a uniform or had at that point in time. It's just like, these are things, or think about, Barack Obama or somebody like, you got your basic suit, whatever it is, and, your shirt and tie. And that's not something you have to think about every day. Am I going to wear this or am I going to wear that? And so, yeah. And it's an example of simplifying things that really aren't that important, right? Things that we kind of pour ourselves into and haggle over that really take our time and energy from the things that really do matter. So when you do have to, do things like, let me figure out what I'm going to cook for myself so that I can have a healthy lifestyle, I'm just going to go to Wendy's because I've made all these other decisions that really don't mean anything. So those are things, that I am shifting. And by the time this episode airs, we both will be a year older. So we celebrate, personal New Year's, just after everyone else celebrates a New Year. So, that means something as well.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for watching the XrossroadZ Podcast. Take 1 second, hit that subscribe button and like the page so you can get alerts for any time we go live or drop new episodes. Hit that subscribe button. Yeah. And to your point about letting things fail, that's a lesson that I had to learn some years ago. And I had to teach to my managers that I managed, right? When I'm in education, because, such and such didn't do this. And we had this, I said, okay, let it fail, because they were so like, oh, I can't. I had one of my teachers just, her team wasn't being productive because they knew if they didn't do it, she was going to just pick up the slack because she couldn't stand to let it go. And I was like, that's your fault, right?
Yeah.
If you keep doing it, they're going to keep not doing it. So I was like, let it fail. The only thing you need to be clear on is who was supposed to do what, have it written out for the entire team to see, right? Everybody is aware of everybody's responsibilities. So when something isn't done, everybody knows who dropped the ball,
that
right?
Part.
And now you don't have to worry about picking it up because everybody knows. So now it's like when it fails, everybody can be like, well, right?
That part.
But when people are invested in succeeding, just much like we operate with the pod, right? We both have our individual tasks and talents that we bring to the pod. And for me, one of the biggest things that pushes me to succeed is because I can't let my best friend fail. Like I can't let you down, right? And my personal projects, that are just me, is like, I'll work on that because who gonna check me, right?
Yeah.
Even though I need to be just as diligent there, but it's the extra push. It's not necessarily of the visibility, but I'm accountable to somebody, right?
Yeah.
This is my partner right here. And if I fail, if I drop the ball, I'm affecting her success. So that's one thing. It's like, all right, I gotta be, on point. And I appreciate that we do that for each other. Now, while we're not perfect,
Right.
I think we're good enough and we trust each other enough to get our parts that we play in this done. So yeah, I would say let things fail, y'all. you
Oh,
can't you can't
look.
you can't be all things for all people, and you can't be everywhere, you know. And those who
And
try
they
to
don't
do that,
appreciate it anyway.
they don't appreciate it. But
That's the
sometimes
part. Like you bend over backwards, you make it happen. Your reward, like you mentioned, is just more work. Like
more
they
work.
want you to do it again
I
and again. Like,
always
oh, you
say
got it.
the
You got it.
reward for hard work, when you're working for someone else, the reward for hard work is more work.
That's it.
Right? You get a
That's
check.
it.
You get a check every 2 weeks or every month or however. It's like, okay, thanks. But then you have to consider when you push yourself beyond, and I'm not saying don't work hard and contribute and be a team player, but you have to consider that your leaders, right? Like me as a leader, my job is to consider how to get whatever project I'm on. How is that going to get done? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Who on my team has the strengths or skills to get this done? And it may not even be conscious, but I know, okay, boom, you know what? I'm gonna get Dre to do this, to do that. Right. And those are the first names that come up because I know they have the skill set because they've shown it. I know they're going to be timely. I know. So you inadvertently lean on the stronger ones because they
Mm-hmm.
produce,
Right.
like who's going to get this done fast and efficient. Boom. And without thought. So now you're getting, well, what about such and such and such? And like, but right. And they may do it, but they don't push themselves.
Right.
Whole time they're getting paid the same as you. Right. And that's why I always say that, I don't like experience as an indicator for pay scale, like at
Mm-hmm.
a job, because if we're doing the same job, what does your experience matter? Right?
Yeah.
If we're expected to produce the same thing at the same time, at the same level, just because you've done it before, it doesn't mean you're doing more and doesn't mean you're doing it like it's just we're doing the same job, you've just done it longer. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a lot of things that we have to be cognizant of to not wear ourselves out.
That
And
part. That
yeah, a
part.
lot of people
And
do it for self.
right. And we have to recognize so we're all going through things, right? And so this particular age set of ages
Yeah.
is a lot, right? Like if you scroll social media, if you scroll through your texts, if you halfway pay attention, you are seeing that people are going through it. I think one of my largest pet peeves and one of the reasons why I had to like really determine what role are you playing in your own demise, right?
Mhm.
Is that everyone's going through things, but it's the other people, right, that are prioritizing themselves and
Themselves.
their struggle. And they might not be going through a quarter of what you're going through, but they have enough wherewithal to go, I'm going through enough that I need to take care of myself. And
Mhm.
so I had to really sit with that and go, okay, why am I, I don't know if it's, the ability to push past or if it's just like, why am I doing that? Now, one is, again, like you said, not wanting to let anybody down, right? And generally throughout my life, but definitely in this stage of my life, I'm not in the background.
Mhm.
Right? Like it's easy to be like, oh, I don't feel like it when your name is not on anything, when
Mhm.
your face is not out there. But when you are the one, or if you are one of the ones, it gets a little harder. It gets a little trickier. And so to your point, we're not saying like, don't show up, but you do need to figure out, different ways to honor yourself, delegate things, and then hold people accountable. I like that. Like putting out in front of the team, this is what we said we were going to do. And this is, we said we was going to get here and we only got here. And this is who's responsible. You got to hold your own L.
Mhm.
And it may suck, but I think it also informs other people how they need to show up, right? If
Right.
you're giving, let's just say if we're using the two of us and I'm always going 90 and you're going 10, and one day I go 60, then you'll then go 20, or you might go 30, or you might,
or I might go
maybe
10 and be like,
40.
hey, you missing
Right. Or you
30%.
might stay at 10 and we just got a gap. I don't know. But if you never allow it to happen, I think that's the part that I got to, like, I don't know if people will step up or not, because if you're always extending or overextending, it doesn't give them a reason to. Now, the other part, we talking about being grown. I believe that adults, and particularly those, whether you're in a role that you are hired in, or if you're volunteering, or if you are elected, or if you are, whatever the situation is, if you agree, then do what you're supposed to do. I just think like that's adult. Nobody should have to tell you that, but the world,
like, why do I have to get on your head because you didn't do something you said you was gonna do?
It's the most uncomfortable thing to do to police adults, like micromanaging and all. When I say I hate it, I hate it. And so that's my reset this year. Is just like, it's gonna be, I said what I said. And so
I'm
not gonna keep saying it. That's just not gonna happen.
I've been with my team now. I struggle a lot because I'm such a systems driven person. And it seems like nobody in this company is. Like, I'll give an example.
That's
my team. So I manage 10 on my team, and I wake up Saturday morning, I'm getting messages, texts, calls, all kind of stuff about something I have no idea. I'm like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. I ended up checking my email, and there's this whole system change, right? From an email that was sent, I guess Friday afternoon, Friday evening, or whatever. No rollout, no meetings, no like, hey, this is what's coming. This is what we're doing. This is what it means. This is how it works. These are the changes. These are the questions that might come up in case your team asks. I'm like, as a manager, I should never be getting information at the same time as those I manage.
That part.
Like, that should never happen. Because now when they ask me questions, you know what I just send them up. I'm gonna send them up to the person that, but it makes me look inept, right?
It's
so
annoying.
I'm just like, I have to take myself out of it, because this is just how they operate. And I tell myself all the time, this is not my company. You know what I mean? But it informs me how I run my company. Like, this is, now we communicate, like, y'all, even when we do this pod, we don't just turn the camera on and do an episode. Like, y'all, there's meetings.
I wish.
Right? We have meetings and then follow-ups, and then, production meeting afterwards. It's like, it's supposed to feel like we just cut the camera on and started talking to you all, right? And if we succeed in making it look like we just turned the camera on and started talking to you all, then we've done our job. That means we had the meeting when we decided what we're going to talk about. And then we have the script and the segments and everything set up. And then we met about the script and the segment that we met up. And then we have a pre-recording meeting before we record right? And then, like, there's hours of work that goes into creating an hour maybe of content. Right?
Yeah. And that's just the creation part. Then, clearly you have to get it ready for consumption. And so that post-production is important as well. So you're going to see us reset even in that, you're going to see more content, bite-sized content, of course, the long form content, some in the middle. And we're excited. We're really excited.
Yeah. And so I'm saying this on air, and I've been trying to do this for years. I came up with this years ago, and I've yet to succeed at this. But I'm gonna keep trying. Right. So, and I probably said it on the show before years ago. I'm trying to create what's called the plus minus challenge. And anybody that wants to do it on your own, like, cool, tap in, comment, let me know that you're doing it as well. But I'm just saying that I'm doing it for myself. And I won't always share, because some things are going to be deeply personal, but some things I will share. What the plus minus challenge is every month I'm going to start a new habit that I've wanted to start. And I'm going to subtract a bad habit that I wanted to quit. And so the concept is, by the end of the year, I've created and been consistent with 12 new habits, and I've gotten rid of 12 destructive or non-productive habits. So it's like, hey, January, it's like, hey, get consistent in the gym again or whatever. That is one thing that I'm doing. So it's like, hey, physical health, make sure you're moving your body, whatever that looks like. And the goal there is to not let 2 days pass without working out in whatever shape or form. It doesn't necessarily have to be go to the gym. Did I go walking? Did I do something? Don't let 2 days pass without moving your body, right? And so February, I continue January's, and then I add on another one in February. And then March, I'm continuing January, February, and so forth and so on. So that's the plus minus challenge. But yeah, you start getting into life, and all of a sudden there's a lot of things that you allow to detour you, and then all of a sudden you've fallen off completely, or you forget you were even doing it. You know what I mean? So it's like really locking in and being intentional and deliberate and disciplined on it until it just becomes routine. So that's the idea. So I'm trying it yet again, and I'm gonna keep trying. Yeah, it's the reset. You know what I mean? So
that's the reset. And I think I'm, working on being, I don't know if this is the way to describe it, but like less structured, right? Like I have notoriously gone into, the new year with my year plan, right? Like this is what I plan to accomplish. This is, when I want to see it happen. Hi, roadies and road dogs. While you're enjoying this episode, don't forget to stop and subscribe to our Patreon. For just a few dollars a month, you'll have access to episodes 48 hours in advance, plus polls, live Q&A, and reaction videos. You'll also get access to a wonderful community. So go to the website on the screen or scan the QR code. And we can't wait to see you in our Patreon community. And over the last few years, I have done what I call easing into the year, because the things that have happened, I could not have planned for them if I tried, right? And it has been a blessing, though a little nerve wracking, if you're like me, to kind of free fall, right? And my free fall is not the regular person's free fall. So maybe that I shouldn't frame it that way, but to not be as in control, I guess, of things. And again, allowing things to happen that you may not have otherwise planned for or accounted for, or even thought that you wanted to do. So I am embracing opportunities that are coming my way. I am not beating myself up if I don't do a certain thing. So I know last year and probably the year before that, I was attempting to read the entire Bible in a year. And I just thought about my years, and I told #boo, I was like, I've been in my Bible all year, but I didn't, read it chronologically and stay on the plan and all of that. And it made me feel a certain way until I thought about like what was most important. Is it important? Yes, in some form or fashion, I'm sure, to read the entire Bible. I don't know if it's as important to read it, cover to cover that way, but it wasn't like I was not in relationship with God. Like I have gotten closer. My faith has increased and expanded because of life, right? Life happening made me open that word, made me recite what I knew, pray for, stand on. And so my point in sharing that is things may not always go the way that you plan, but appreciate what comes out of that, right? Because it may absolutely be better. I wanted to be a flight attendant at some point in my life, and was just like, because I like to fly. I really like, the whole thing. And I've experienced some turbulent times, Lord knows. But for the most part, I like to travel. And so I thought that was something I wanted to do. And of course, life that didn't happen. But last year, I flew for work in one form or another so much. I got like this special status with the airline. And I started thinking about it. And I was like, well, I didn't become a flight attendant, but I see them all the time. So we're all together.
Right.
So again, it may not happen the way that you plan. Don't get so frustrated or discouraged. Again, I think it matches what you said in the beginning, that we don't see the answered prayer overall, right? It may look a little different. It may have come with a detour or several, but that gratitude and that openness, and for me, like dependency. When we say like being dependent on God, it's not like, okay, bless my plans. For me, it's like, give me the plans that you want me to have. If my plans align, please allow them to go forward and be fruitful. If they don't, then I yield that and like, give me the desire to do what it is that you want me to do and help me be successful in that. And so that's a day-to-day thing. So you might have a plan, and then you got to look up, write that junk in pencil, cause
because you got to be real malleable with your plan. So to put a bow on it, what would be your final thought for the reset?
You always do this to me. I feel like I just gave my final thought.
You did, but we didn't introduce it, so I didn't know
I'll
if you had
say something, and then you're like, "What's the final?"
Because you did, because it was bars what you just said. So
yeah,
you're like, that's your final thought. Okay,
no need for me to
expect.
Try to
So Dre's final thought is, she said what she just said.
Yeah, I didn't know we were in final thoughts, but I should have tagged it while I was talking. But I think, just being flexible, being open, and expecting good things, right? Like I think, and I've become more aware when I'm around people who are, and I don't want to say negative, because I think I've always been a realist, right? Like, okay, this could happen, but the same amount of energy, the same, thought process I assume that it takes for you to think about those things. Can we think about good things? Can we think about the possibility of things actually working out, and not always on what if this, what if that, the world, the economy, the government, all of that stuff can really put you on edge and make you, feel a particular way. But so this is what we see. Can I think of something else? Can I hope for something else? Can I have faith in something else? And that, I think, is how I would put the bow on it. Like, we're living this life, we're seeing all these things, we're experiencing all these things, but I expect that my experience doesn't necessarily have to reflect what I see and what others, may be going through. So
got you.
That's that.
Amen.
What about you?
My final thoughts for you all is, remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. And with the new year, this new season, resets, every time we want to make life changes, we seem to want to make grand, sweeping changes and overhaul our whole life. Like, we're gonna go to bed tonight, and tomorrow I'm anew, and I'm gonna think this way and speak. It don't work like that. habits take a while to build and they take even longer to break, good and bad alike. And so the problem with trying to overhaul yourself in one fell swoop is that when it doesn't work, we become frustrated, right? And when we become frustrated, it's like, I failed at that. And because you feel I failed at that, it's like, example, like if you said, hey, I'm going to work out and you didn't go to the gym as many days as you wanted to this week, and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to just try again on Monday. Tomorrow's it's only Wednesday right now, though. Right? So because you said, hey, I'm gonna go to the gym Monday through Friday, and now it's Wednesday, and you went Monday, but you missed Tuesday and Wednesday, and now the goal of going 5 straight days failed. So now I'm gonna skip Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'm gonna start again Monday. No, just go.
Yeah,
Right? Just go. You know what I'm saying? And so we fall off so many plans and so many visions and so many whatever we're creating because it doesn't look like it did when we first thought it up. Right. Just akin to what Dre said, as far as like God's plan and your plan, it takes time to build, it takes time to learn, it takes time to get the discipline. It's like, I know after we go to the gym once and we get one good workout and we in the mirror to see if it took. No, you still look exactly how you did before that workout, right? Change comes with the consistent and cumulative, action. So you got to keep going until such time you're always the last to notice the change a lot of times, right? You keep going and other people are going to be like, man, they talk different. They used to be blah, 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 blah. Or when your body starts to change because you've been eating different and working out. One thing, listen, I don't care how confident I am. I don't care how long I've been working out or how inconsistent. When somebody I haven't seen in a while, or somebody you do see, they look at you and say, you've been in the gym? Oh, stop everything. I'm going to the gym now. Again, because now I got momentum. When someone notices the change, that's one of the biggest motivators ever. Like, you've been working out.
I feel some.
Right. And it hits different. The homies be like, oh, I see you. Oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Getting it in. Oh, but when a woman, I don't care how you feel about her, it could be best friend, because when a woman notices you've been working out, male or female alike, especially a black one, like, this is true. This is facts. It is scientifically proven, even though if it's not documented. A compliment from a black woman changes everything. Right? You get a compliment from a black woman, because listen, y'all, and I don't want to derail because we're gonna wrap it up. Non-black women, with respect, I appreciate your compliments, and they do feel good, right? But it's different. It's said different. It lands different. And it ain't just with black men. Everybody knows a compliment from a black woman hits different, right? Like a white woman might say, you look really nice in that suit today. Ah, thank you. Black woman. Okay, suit. Okay, double-breasted. Okay, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, right? And they're not going, okay, shoes. I see you, right? They just name what it is they compliment, and they don't ever actually say the compliment. They just point it out.
You know what it is.
Yeah, you know what it is. And you like, they made, right?
Mm-hmm.
So part of like, listen, I'm working for black woman compliments, right? I'm doing the change for me, but a black woman's compliment is like the stamp of approval. You know what I mean? So y'all just keep going. Rome wasn't built in a day. Be consistent, develop discipline. I'm speaking to myself when I say it as well, because there's just always areas in life where we want to improve and get better and be there, but you have to start the process.
Yeah,
all right.
Absolutely.
So y'all, with that, this has been another episode of the XrossroadZ Podcast. We love y'all. We're so excited for everything that's to come. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Share this with everybody so that we can build this community that you are a part of and we appreciate. right? So all the roadies and road dogs, we will see you next time, same place, next time, same place, same time, same channel, all of that stuff. All right.
All of it. All of it.
And in closing, always remember,
be free to be you.
We'll see y'all.
Season 3, y'all. Yay.
This has been the Crossroads Podcast. And remember, be free to be you.